Hi, today we're going to be talking about decorative stitch embellishment on quilts. And as you can tell from my accent, I wasn't raised in Canada. I was born and raised in Africa, and in Africa we do things bold and bright, which is why a lot of my quilts are so very bright. In order to make my job so much easier, we're going to talk today about the AccuFeed feet that come as optional extras to the Janome 6600. The particular one that I have on the foot right now, on the machine rather right now, is the Janome AccuFeed ditch quilting foot. And this is basically a built-in walking foot where we have feed dogs at the top and feed dogs at the bottom that help to feed all the layers of the fabric through 100% evenly. And the built-in part is right at the back here, and all we do is we simply pop the feet onto the foot, and then we're ready to go. We make sure that we line up the ditch quilting guide in the middle of the foot with the little seam ditch, and then we set the machine going, and it simply rides along in the ditch and does a perfect job for you. There are other feet available as well, and I'm going to talk about those in a moment, but I just wanted to point out once again the decorative stitches that you can do. Now, if you don't want to stitch right in the ditch, you can use your stitch width adjustment dial that you will move when you're in straight stitch. That will move your needle position from left to right. So if you don't want to stitch in the ditch, you can stitch to either side of the stitch by moving that, making that adjustment. There is also available an open toe AccuFeed foot, which fits onto the machine in exactly the same way as this. And I like that one particularly for when I'm doing very pretty decorative stitches, because it means then that I can actually see where I'm going and I can follow a pattern along a quilt or wherever I'm going that I need to see. Then we also have a 1/4 inch AccuFeed foot, and this one, like the ditch quilting foot with the ski in the middle, the 1/4 inch foot has got a little ski over to the side. And when the needle is in the correct position, you will be able to do beautiful 1/4 inch piecing, which of course quilters are totally addicted to. Everything is done with a 1/4 inch seam, and that will give you perfect 1/4 inch stitching. And all of these feet, of course, are used with the built-in walking foot. I must say that I have done a number of quilts without this feature, and most of them end up with some sort of wrinkles on the back of the quilt. When I've used the AccuFeed feet on the 6600, the quilts are beautiful. No wrinkles, perfect. And I am quite frankly amazed at the results we get, and these are exclusively available with Janome. I did want to point out this quilt at the back here. You will notice I did decorative stitching in the seam lines there as well. Just a very simple feather stitch done with a variegated thread, which picks up some of the color from the quilt. And then I have a small wall hanging or table topper here, and instead of this being blocks of fabric pieced, this is now an applique quilt or little mini quilt, where the fabric has been appliqued on using decorative stitches. And again, a very, very good foot to use for that would be the open toe AccuFeed foot, because I can see exactly where I'm going. I've even got little flowers along here, and when I've done my binding in a similar way, I have used the AccuFeed foot to stitch my binding down with a decorative stitch. All of these things give you beautiful results and make your job a whole lot more fun.